Hello and welcome to our next lecture on learning Autodesk Inventor. In this video we are going to continue with another 3D model. We are going to use the extrude tool, but we are also going to use a drawing to read it from. Because remember, the more exercises you will do, the more you will learn. Alright, let's get started. Let's choose the XY plane, and now let's go and insert an image. I already have chosen one, so let's place it in the positive part of the coordinate system. Right click and hit OK. Now let's finish the sketch. Okay, now let's take a look. It looks pretty complicated, but actually in Inventor it is very easy to do parts like this. You just have to pay attention to the dimensions, and you just have to follow the instruction and you will be able to make it. Alright, let's now create another sketch, and we're going to choose the XZ plane. Alright, now we are in the sketch mode. Let's zoom a little bit in, and now let's take a look one more time of the drawing. So what are we going to do first? Okay, I think we should start from the center. We should make 2 circles. Then we should extrude this outer circle, because I think this is a hole. And then we will continue once again with this part, and then once we are done with this, we are going to make a hole here, and then we are going to continue with this other part right here. Alright, so let's do it. Now, what is the diameter of this hole? Let's zoom in. I think the smaller one is 40 millimeters in diameter, and the bigger one is 60. Alright, let's go to the top view. Let's just rotate it like this, and let's make a circle here. Okay, let's just make a circle. The smaller one was 40 millimeters. Now we want to give it an origin. Let's make it visible. Now we need to give it a dimension in this direction. You're also going to need to give it a dimension in this direction as well. And now we can continue. Let's make another circle here. This time I think it was 60 millimeters. Okay, and now let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Okay, so now we are here at this bottom. Now we need to extrude it with another 60 millimeters. Now let's go and extrude this, and let's type 60 millimeters. Okay, now as you can see, we have a cylinder. Okay, what are we gonna do next? We can continue with this part here, or we can just continue with another part here. Okay, let's finish this first. Now, what is the distance from this side to the other side? It is not given, but we have given this radius from the center of this circle to the edge of the circle, and it is 23 millimeters. So 23 millimeters times 2, which make 46 millimeters. So that's the distance from this point to this point. Now let's create a sketch, but before we do that, I will just find out what is the distance. Okay, from the center to this center, it is 75 millimeters. Okay, now I'm gonna rotate this, because it is much more easier for me to do this, to do it from here. Now let's start a sketch, create a sketch, and let's start from here. Okay, let's click here, project geometry, Now we have here a point. Now let's create a rectangle here, just a random rectangle. We're going to constrain this point with this point here. Right click, hit OK. Now the distance I think was 75. Yes. Now we're going to make this distance from here to here. We're going to make it 75 millimeters. Alright. And now we need to make another dimension here. We need it from here to here. Okay. Now this was 23 because it was the radius. Now we make it times 2 and it will give us 46. Alright. Now let's make it in the center. We will make this horizontal constraint. We're going to find, I need to delete this. No, Control Y. Let's just move it a little bit here. Now let's make here a horizontal constraint with this. And now we have it. Before we finish the sketch, we have to add one more detail. We have to make this subsphere, or this curve right here. To do that, we're going to use a circle. Let's take a circle here. Just see it from the bottom. We're going to make it as big as this. Okay, now we hit OK. Now we are done. Okay. But we have here one little issue, because this is a hole, and if we extrude this, it is gonna extrude this part as well. So what do we need to do is to make a project geometry here. Right click, hit OK. We're gonna make this, and no, first we need to trim this. Let's trim this and this and this. Right click or escape button. Now we're gonna make this. It's already one intersected point. Okay. Now we have to give it a dimension here. We're gonna make this dimension as well. I think computer knows that. And I think now we are done. Can we move it, or let's try if we have some degrees of freedom? No. No, 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 no. So this is good. Let's finish this sketch. Rotate the cube, and now we can just simply extrude it by 15 millimeters. Let's hit the home view, and now we can go ahead and extrude it. We will select this part. Oops. Let's rotate the direction, and we're going to select this part as well. Now the distance was 15 millimeters, and just hit enter. Now as you can see, the hole is still there, and we have created our part. Now we have to make this little hole here. It has a radius of 10 millimeters. Let's just go and make it. Okay, now there are two options to create a hole here. We could just use this tool, or we can make another extrusion here, but for now we are gonna make an extrusion. Now let's go here and click this, create a sketch. And let's make a circle here. Now we need to make this a project geometry. Right click or escape button, and we are going to put the circle into this point here, because that's the center of this curve. Okay, and now we have to give it a dimension. Let's make it 10. I think we should make it 20, because this is a radius, it's not a diameter. So let's make it 20. Okay, now it is better. Let's finish the sketch, and now we have our circle. Okay, now we can go ahead and make an extrusion. We are gonna make a hole. Let's click this first. This is to cut, and we will make this all. It's gonna cut all what's in its direction. And so we are done. Now we have this nice little hole here. Let's zoom a little bit out, F6. So we are getting closer to our goal. Now, in order to make this part, we can make it, let's see how we can do this. Okay, I will simply just subtract 60 by 15. This will give us the height of this, and the width is it is just 10 millimeters. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go here, create new sketch. Now we are going to need to slice this. Let's go ahead and click Slice Graphics. Alright. Now we have to create a circle, because we cannot project this geometry. Let's make a circle, but we need to find first the center of this. Let's make it here. Let's create a circle right there. Okay, now we can go ahead and start with this part here. It says that it is 25 by 10, so we have to make a rectangle with 25 by 10 in dimensions. .25 by 10. Right click and hit OK. Now we need to make it aligned horizontally. And now this point should be at this circle right here. So to do that, I'm going to use this constraint and the circle here. Right click, hit OK. Now we just need to extrude it. We're going to finish the sketch, and we are going to extrude that once again. We will click only this part, and we will make the distance. We will click 2 to the surface here and click OK. We are halfway through, but as you can see, we need to cut it in half. We could use just the chamfer option, but we are just going to use the extrude tool, so you will have a solid base of using this tool. So one more time, we are just going to use the extrude tool. Now we're going to create here another sketch, and let's make a slice, and now let's use the project geometry. We're going to make this our project geometry, right click, hit OK. Now we're going to make a line from this edge to this edge here. Right click, hit OK. And now we are going to cut this upper part here. Let's just make all and hit OK. Now we are finished with this part here. Now we just need to make this part in the back here. How are we gonna do that? Alright, now we have to measure the distance from the center of the circle to this part here, because we are going to make a rectangle here. Now we need to measure this part, 60 millimeters, and the rectangle will have the dimension of 15 times 60 millimeters. Let's just go from top. Now we have to create here a sketch, and now we make our rectangle. Let's make it, oops, let's try one more time. Let's make it 15 by 60. Okay. And now we have to make another. We will create this one, right click, hit OK, because we need the dimension from this point to here. We make it 60 millimeters. Now we want that this will be aligned to the center of the circle. Right click, and now we are done. Now we can finish this sketch. We are going to make another extrusion here. Just go ahead and click extrude, select the other direction, and make it, as you can see, 45 millimeters. Right click, hit OK. Now what do we need to do next? We have to make another rectangle at this bottom here, and we are going to extrude it up until the surface of this cylinder. Let's go and make it 50 millimeters by 60. Let's go create a sketch. Now once again we need to make a slice graphic because we can't see it. Now let's make a geometry here. Right click, hit OK, create a rectangle, and now we are good. So we know that the distance from here to here is 60 millimeters. Oops. And we know that this distance was 15 millimeters. So we just have to move this line to this line here, and we need this line to be aligned at this point. Right click, hit OK, finish the sketch, and now we go and make another extrusion. We will just hit this, and what we're gonna do next, we're gonna make a distance to this cylinder, and you're gonna click OK. So that is done. Let's just take a look if we are doing everything right. I think we are good by now. Now we just need to make 2 more holes and this part right here. Now we're going to do the same. We're going to make, now let's see what's the width of this. 10 millimeters. Alright. We're going to put it in the center of this, and we're going to make it 10 millimeters. Let's make a slice graphic here, and now let's make a project geometry. We're gonna make it here. Okay, let's make a rectangle. We know that it was 10 millimeters in diameter. I mean, okay, 10. And this was 45. Alright, let's make it aligned with this line here. Right click, hit OK, and with this vertical line from here to here. Right click, hit OK. Now finish the sketch, and we can just extrude it one more time. We're going to set the distance to this cylinder here. Right click, hit OK, and now we are done. Alright, now we just need to make 2 more holes here. I am going to use the mirror tool. I'm going to make only one, then I'm going to make a mirror to make the other one. Let's create here a sketch. But we need first to find the distance from top to bottom. I mean from top to the center of the circle. So the distance from this circle here to the other circle says it's 35 millimeters. Alright. Now we have to make a line first in the center. Then we are going to make the circles. Okay. Let's go and start a new sketch. Let's do a slice graphic. Let's try one more time. Okay. Now we need to project this one more time. Right click, hit OK. Now we have to make a line because this is gonna be the mirror line. Let's make it all through this. Right click, hit OK. Let's make it vertical aligned with this point here. Right click, hit OK. And what we are gonna do is we're gonna make our circle here. And I don't know the diameter. I'm just gonna I have to finish this first, so I have to see it. The diameter is 16 millimeters. Alright, let's go back to our sketch here. Let's make another slice. Okay, the diameter was 16 millimeters. Let's make it 16. Now, the distance from here to here was 15 millimeters, as I can remember. Now I'm going to use the mirror tool. Let's just go and take the mirror tool. First select our object, then we select the mirror line. Click apply, and then click done. But we don't know where they are positioned. But we're gonna go and look the distance. So from this center to this center, it says it's 35 millimeters. So once again, we are gonna go and edit that one more time, slice graphic, and go to dimension tool and make it 35 millimeters. Okay, so now we're good. Now we want to make our very last extrusion. Let's select this one, and we are gonna make a cut. So let's do it all and hit OK. And now we are done. As you can see, we have our holes. We have 3 holes here. We have this 10 millimeters, 15. So in order to check if everything is alright, we can do a measure. Just hit the M key on your keyboard, and now we can make a measure. So let's see this distance from here to here is 45. Let's see if we have it right. Okay, you can see it is 45 millimeters. Let's take, for instance, right click, hit OK. We want to know what is the distance from this point to the bottom of the cylinder. One more time, hit the M key and select this surface to this surface. And as you can see, it is 60 millimeters in distance. So that's how you measure your 3D model, if you're not sure if you have done it right. You can also measure the diameter. Just hit the M key and select this circle, and now you can see the diameter is 40 millimeters. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save the sketch. Let's go save as, and let's just give it a random name. I'm gonna call it cylinder plus rectangle. Alright, let's save it. And okay, I think we are done now. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Goodbye.